Hello guys, this is the third class and I'll be going through text editors. No, code editors. Yeah, I'll take that. Code editors. So basically we have code editors as the environment where um, developers get to edit their code to write error-free codes. Yeah, error-free codes, okay. Which you can still, if there's error, you can still correct. So help you to write error-free codes for your computer programs. So they also it's just like an ID. An ID is integrated development environment, like an environment where computer programs and codes can be written. Set of instructions can be written for um, computer to perform. So what I'll be treating here is HTML editors. Just under code editors, we have like HTML editor. So HTML editor is like for HTML specifically, or let's say web development editor, because the same thing you used to write HTML code, you can also use it to develop websites. So I'll go into the main ones that I'm going to take today. Let's say only one. I have only one main one to take today. That's VS Code, Visual Studio Code. So I'll be teaching you how to install and how to use it. So like I said before, code editors are it's like an environment where developers get to write error-free codes. So I'll be going into HTML editors. HTML editors are like where web pages can be modified, they can be created. HTML editors are where programmers can modify web pages and create web pages. There are also those places, it's just the place where you put the codes so you can create a web page, where you put the codes or you can modify web page. So that's what HTML editors like help you to do, or should I say website editors. Depends. So we have one one that always come. We have one HTML editor that always come with the laptop, and that's the Notepad for Windows 10 or for Windows laptop. We have the Notepad and we have text edit for the MacBook. So for Windows laptop, we have Notepad. So if you should go to your controls, I mean your search button, not controls, your search button on your taskbar. If you search for Notepad, you will see Notepad. So you just double click on it and you can write your code here and you run it. So I'll be writing a code just like I did yesterday. I'll be writing the same code that I wrote on that text editor on this one, so that we can basically see and we'll run it and check whether it is going to work. But I'll not be using Notepad at all because I have another better one that will be faster. So using this one, I'll write a code. I'm gonna basically write a code. So basically, I'm already done writing the code, and this is how it will look like. You can see what I wrote here. So this is how it's going to look like. So me writing the code like this, I'm telling the computer that I'm still using the old version of HTML. So I'm going to come up and put that doc type I told you about. So I'm going to put the doc type, exclamation doc type HTML. So now as I've done this, I'm telling computer that I'm using HTML5 version. So running this code, before I can run this code, I have to save it. So I'll use the Control S. Control S basically means save, or I can go to this file option here, and click on it, and you see where they say save. But first, I have to save it first, like in my computer storage, like save it as something so I'll be able to be opening it. So I have to save it as something. So I'll click on save as. So clicking on save as, I'll save it as not text. I'll not save it as text, because if you save it as text, it will display as text. So we have to save it as a HTML file. So this place where they say text document.txt, okay, there's no file here, so I'll be removing it. So I'll save it. I'll choose any name. So let's say index.html. So this is what I'm saving it as. So after I'm done saving it, I'll go to where I saved it and look for it. So as you can see, this is basically the text. So if I open it on my browser, as you can see exactly what we did yesterday, this is what comes up. This is the title. As you can see, my first program, this is the H1, and this is the P tag. So as you can see, exactly what we coded here, that's what came out. So this is it. So this is how you can basically use the notepad. You write your code, then you save it as anything, then if it is HTML, you save it as index or any name, then .html. If you miss out this .html, the text will not open as a web page. I repeat, save it as the name .html. If you not put that .html there, the next thing will not open as a page, and save it where you can basically see it. Like now, I'm saving it in my desktop. If I save it on my desktop, I can come to my desktop and I'll see it. Where's the index? As you can see, look at it here. So I'm seeing it. So I save it as index.html. So once I open it. As you can see, it's already open. So I'll write my code, click save as, then click save as, then save the name with .html. So if I now make any modification, let's say I'm changing this hello world because I made a mistake here. Instead of writing hello world, I wrote hello world. I want to change it. Mainly I do this, the thing will not be saved yet on the index, but once I should use Ctrl S, or I should go to this file and click on save instead of save as, it automatically make the changes. So if I go back to the web page and refresh, as you can see now, that came the hello world has already gone, and it's now hello world. So don't mess this up by not forgetting to do that. You create the file. You can put in the codes there, or you cannot put in the codes. It depends on you. But I prefer you put in the codes first. When you put in the codes, then you click on file, then you click save as, then you save the name .html, then you click on save. Once I'm done saving, you can now come back here, modify the codes to any amount you want, add any extra things you want to add, then you click on save, so the thing will save it. Then when you go and refresh, the thing will reflect. So that's how text this thing works. Basically, that's how notepad works. Even text edit, but I'm not using a MacBook, so I cannot show you that. So I'm going to the one I'm going to be taking today. I'll be taking that's VS Code. So VS Code is basically what I'll be using, because to make my coding easier and faster. You can detect errors and also you can code faster with it. So I'm going of this how VS Code basically looks like. Let me open a new VS Code. So this is how VS Code ID basically looks like. So I'll be I'll be showing you how to install it and set it up. So it's very easy. If you have a data connection, so you have to connect to the data connection. Then you go to your desktop and search Visual Visual Studio Code. Then click on enter. So clicking on enter, you're seeing it here. So you have to click on Studio. So you have to wait for it to load. As you can see, it has loaded. So I have to go to this place where they say download, or this side. This side where they say download for Windows, only for Windows users. If you click on this side, maybe to not start download. So I'll go to this place where they say download. I'll click on download. Then to take me to a new page. So here, this is where you can get the various options. So I have the one for Windows, I have the one for MacBook. So for those using Mac OS, you can basically download it here and it will work for you straight and smooth. So if I click on this, it basically start downloading, but I already have it, so I will not be downloading it again. So if I should download it, this is what I'll have. I will have so I don't have the setup file again, so let me just download it again. So try to see it. As you can see, the thing is downloading. So basically, once you're done installing it, you see it in your downloads. Then you have to just double click so that this thing will open. So I'm going to run it. So setup detected that VS Code is currently running. So I have VS Code running. So I have to close mine so that it will be able to go. So let me close it. So it starts setup from the beginning. So I click on run. So basically, VS Code setup is running. Okay, it's no longer running. So it is really gone. So this is what you're going to see. Then you have to click on agree to the agreement, then click on next. Then click on create a desktop icon so that Once it's done downloading, it can create a desktop icon like this one right here. So once I click on next, if I click on install, to start installing, but I already have it, so I'm not going to install. So if you click on install, the thing will start installing. So I'm not going to click on install because I already have it. So once you're done installing, the thing is going to launch automatically, and this is what you're going to see. So seeing this, we already have a new code ID. So mine was just updated. So if you download it from the website, you download like the latest version. So I'm waiting for the release notes. Yeah, these are the release notes. So you basically have to just create. So this is your VS code. This is your new coding ID. So if you want to make use of it, you have to, yeah, I have to open editors. As you can see, I clicked on that open editors and these things came out. So before I can start, I have to create a folder. So I'll come to my desktop and create a folder. So this is how to use VS Code I'm teaching you. So if you want to start, you have to create a folder first. Let's say a folder for your whole project where you put in all the whole project you're doing. So I'm creating a folder. I'll be naming it project one. So I'm naming project one. As you can see it, this is it here. Getting out. So this is it here. So I'll be opening it with the VS Code. I can open it with the VS Code here. I can also open it with VS Code here. So open with VS Code here, I'll click on this file section and go to open folder. I'll click on this open folder. Clicking on this open folder, it's take me here. So I have to go to desktop where I opened the folder. I created a new folder. So I'll click on the project one and open it, select and open it. As you can see, project one has been opened. So this is project one being opened here. So I can basically open it from here, but I'll not be doing that because already if I click on it, to open it exactly how you're seeing it here. So the next thing we have to do is to create a file. Remember when we were using the notepad, we had to save it. When we were using notepad, we had to save it and name it. That's basically what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to create a file just like this notepad. We're going to create a file. We're going to create a file called index. Oh, so if you want to create a file, you basically have to click this icon as you can see it now. I say new file. You want to create a folder. Inside that folder you're using, you click on this one that says new folder. If you want to refresh, you can refresh it here. Everything here will refresh. Not everything will go, so just refresh it. So you want to click on it, then you write the name of the folder. So I'll write the name of my folder, then I'll put index html. I'll put index.html. So if I write the name, that's this index, I'll put the dot and now put HTML. So if you want to create an HTML file, you have to first put the name, then put dot HTML. So if you miss that dot HTML, get a wrong code. So as if I press enter, everything. So if I should press enter, as you can see, this is a space where I can write my code. So I can basically write my code here. As you can see, this thing helps you to even tell you how many lines of code you have written. Tell you how many lines of code you have even written. So I'll basically start with how I did before, but I'll not be writing it this time around. I'll just be copying and pasting it to save more time. But basically the same thing. So I'll copy, I'll paste. So as you can see, these are the text appears. So if I want to run this, remember the last one, if you want to run it, you guys save it. You have to save it. So if I want to run this one, I have to save it. So running this, I'll go to the same file and look for the save. Remember, you have to use save as to save it if the person does not already have a name. So from this side already, we're already giving it a name. So using save as is going to automatically change the name. But once I click on save, this automatically save this inside this folder and save everything we have written or any changes we make. It will save everything together. So clicking on this save, I've automatically saved everything here. So I will go to my desktop and look for the project one, and you can see the index already there because of that save. You must do the save. If you not do the save, it won't work. So if I click on index, so I have to basically wait for it to load. As you can see, it has loaded. As you can see, one, it does on HTML. So as you can see, this is the name, this is the title, everything. So it's working as the notepad. But why I say this one is better than the notepad is because in the notepad, you can't, you're manually writing it. You can't basically detect error. So once I use the VS Code to write this thing I've written in notepad, the computer does not see it as, it does see it as text, and it can also detect errors. Let's say if I should make a mistake and not close this HTML, there's no error message. So basically, that's how it's going to go. So if you're using JavaScript, you see the error, but this one HTML is just like plain text, so errors don't normally pop up here. Yes. Okay, yeah, errors don't normally pop up too much here. So if you start using JavaScript, maybe you'll be seeing those. So this is just how to use your VS Code. You create a folder. After creating a folder, you come use these buttons, the new file button, the folder button, and when you're creating the new file, you name the file, the input.html. So note, you cannot give two the same files like the same name. So if I should try to give this one index.html, so to say that a file or folder named index.html already existing, so I cannot do it. So I have to give it a name or a number. And you cannot name, okay, you can name it start with a number, so it depends. So that's all for VS Code. So it can work for both MacBook and Windows. So it can work for both MacBook and Windows. So I'll be ending the video now.